ironically that Kristina is the one who introduced me into coaching. So this is like me always thanking Kristina. She hears it all the time. I shout her out all the time. But Kristina always, when she led our team, is like the big belief girl, the one who went off and hit the ground running, hit 2-star in like, I think, record breaking time, and just saw the potential and like nobody could catch up to her. So she's just has always led with such fire and such belief. And I just feel like we had to get her on this call to really share with you guys, have her share the importance of belief. I know we've kind of touched on it, especially coming back from Summit, but I don't know, I really want, well, both of us really want you guys to hear from Kristina and just share the knowledge because she's full of it.
Thanks. Okay. So I can just go ahead and start then. Hold on. I have like a weird screen thing happening. Just give me 1 second. I apologize. Mm-hmm. All right, now this will be fine. There we go. So much better. Okay. So, hi everyone. I'm Kristina. I'm the one that got Shannon involved in Beachbody. And yes, all those things are true. So, we'll just get right into it. And I'll talk about myself for a little bit so that you understand why I'm speaking about what I'm speaking about. So when I started in Beachbody, I signed under Stephanie Davies. I don't know if you know who she is, but she was like under Stephanie Chico, who was then under Brandy Botts. That's the kind of lineage that I was at. Steph was all the way in Portland. And at the time I had postpartum. I was taking a herbalist course and just kind of finding myself all over again after having 2 kids. And I actually started following like the Mama Mala's woman on Instagram. And she had reposted Steph wearing this Mama Mala. And I was thinking like, who is this woman that can afford, these Mama Malas on it? Like just, and who's getting shouted out by this woman. So I started following her and looking at her lifestyle and thinking like, how is she able to do all this? And that's what drew me into the business, was seeing her being able to afford a Mama Mala, which is like $180 Mala necklace. And I am with 2 kids on like nothing, mat leave, and wondering how it's all happening. She's building this business. I decided to jump right in. But I didn't know her. I didn't have a connection with her in the sense of, we didn't really get on a phone call. I joined one of her glimpses, her 5-day glimpses. And then at the time they were doing like phone calls, like there was no video. It was just a phone call. Like seems so long ago, before they had this kind of technology. And I listened to a phone call with Mindy Wender and, what is it, Christine Dwyer? Like it was like an old recorded, like coaching onboarding thing. It wasn't even Steph. And so I decided to take the leap and sign up, and she was messaging me back and forth. Again, we didn't have a talk on the phone type thing until after I became a coach. So I really didn't know where I was, like where the placement was. I understood a little bit because I'd watched some random YouTube videos on placement and all sorts of stuff. But when I joined the team, I was added to the big team page. So what you guys would have is, I can't remember what Steph Chico's is.
It's Team Fitspiration.
Team Fitspiration. So it'd be the equivalent of being added into that. That was Steph's team at the time. She had lots of coaches and I was just one of many. And her downline was huge. Again, one of many. I didn't know that these were not all of her personally sponsored coaches. I just thought, wow, this is a huge team. And every week that passed on the Thursday, people would be like, there's 4 emeralds here and there's 1 diamond there and then 1 ruby. And I'm thinking, I just need to catch up. Like I wanted to be known. I wanted to be recognized. I just started and I didn't know anybody and nobody knew me. And I wanted them to know me so that I could get to know them. Like I felt really out of place, just messaging random people saying, hi, I'm new, like, we want to be friends. So I figured if they saw me or if they started to recognize me, then I can build connection that way. And that's how I was going to network. And so for me, it wasn't so much belief in myself. It was belief that, it wasn't like a special belief in myself, I should say. It was more or less just belief that this worked and I just had to get in. So within 3 months, I went diamond. And then by my first coach anniversary, I was 2-star diamond my first year. So again, it wasn't something of, well, can I do this? It was, this is just what we do. And that was the belief that I had. Not a belief of, can I do this? No, as a coach, this is what we do. We sign new coaches, we sign challengers, but for me, it was more about rank advancing. And, I'm sure Jen and Shannon have guided you in when you're building income, you really want to build the team too, right? I don't know if you've talked about this or if I'm getting off topic, but, I thought the best way, because for me at the time, it wasn't just about the fitness programs. Yes, it was like helping me get into shape, but the income potential and, well, yeah, it was the income potential, looking at how much money you could make with this business. I was like, that is the selling feature. The selling feature is all of it together, not just one. So I never wanted to just sell a challenge pack to a challenger, because I felt a more holistic approach would be to have them sign as coaches, because of my belief in what we do. This is just what we do. You have to join us because we do this. It wasn't like, oh, you may, or you may not. It was, oh, this is what we do. You sign up and we start helping people build other businesses. And that's why it happened so quickly. The other thing was the element of belief that I used was the fact that I believed so much in Beachbody, period. Forget the individual workouts, which are amazing. We all know them. We all have seen before and afters. Oh, this is trippy. There's 2 of you. But, so yeah, we all know that they work, right? And Beachbody does a really good job of making you believe that they work, right? Like the before and afters, the campaigns they run, the tests that they do, the science in Energize, and like all of that stuff, like the performance line, they have shown over and over again that you can trust it, that you can believe it. And believe and trust go hand in hand, but they're different. We're going to talk about that after. But you begin to believe in the product and you trust it. There's 2 key things there. And so then you see all of these successful coaches who are on the national wake up call, who are guiding you in this team call, who are, showing up every day, and you can trust it. And then you start to believe in it. So there's the trust that happens with your coach first. First, I trust you, and then I believe in you. Whereas with the actual, again, the performance line and all the products and stuff, you tend to believe in it first, and then you trust it. But anyways, doesn't really matter. The point is that I had so much passion for it that I just thought everybody should be doing this. Like, why not? Why not? Who doesn't want to earn an extra $50 a week with the potential of making that an extra $5,000 a week? Like, you're only capping yourself, and you don't really have to choose even. It's just going to happen, or it's not. And so let me think about this. So I will say this, passion is a huge part of it, but the passion comes when you can fully trust yourself. And the trust is going to come when you believe in yourself. So it's 3 stages. And if you're taking notes, write that down, please. Believe, trust, passion. First, we have to believe. From our belief, then we can trust. And from our trust, we can build passion. And I was just seeing my coach, Steph, just, and how much it changed her life, that I was so trusting of her because I developed that relationship with her on social media. The same way that people are watching you silently before they reach out, they already trust you, right? That's what draws them in. You could be selling anything, but the fact is they trust you and they want what you're having because they trust you. And then they can also believe in the products too. And with your belief, sorry, I just want to, like, my mind is getting a little scattery, so I apologize. I'm going to take a deep breath. Is everybody with me so far? We following? Okay.
Totally. No, you're right on the right page.
Okay. Yeah. Sometimes my brain works a little bit faster than my mouth. I'm like, wait, did I say this? Anyways, so I'm going to back up a minute. Okay. Because when I first got into the business and I was doing really well, because I was so passionate about it and I just was telling everybody about it. It wasn't about, am I going to offend somebody or am I going to scam somebody? I know me. And that's where the trust comes in. You have to trust yourself. You have to trust yourself. And if you don't, you need to start there. Right? Why don't I trust myself? What have I done in the past that has led me away from trusting myself? And there's some big things that can come up, right? Like we picked the wrong guy, or we walked down this way, or we ate that and we got food poisoning, like I'm the worst. But realistically, when we start to take account all of the good things that you're starting to do, all of the things that you did for yourself. Hey, guess what? I brushed my teeth today. High five me. And it seems so simple, but acknowledging that, no, I am taking care of myself. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm making sure I eat. Yeah, I don't eat perfect all the time, but I am eating, and that's a win. And whenever I, fall off the wagon, I'm doing things and taking action steps to get myself back on. Oh, I can trust that I'm taking care of myself. I can trust that I want more for myself because you're here. You're on the call. You said yes to Beachbody. You decided to go into that. So you can trust that, hey, I'm going to do what I need to do to take care of myself and move myself along. Not only my health, but my finances and, my service to the world, right? Because that's truly what this is. And so once you can really, truly trust yourself, then you can believe in yourself and be really passionate about everything that you're doing. But you have to remember, oh, wait, am I in a moment of trusting myself right now or not? Because it's not going to work if you don't trust yourself. Nobody else can trust you if you don't trust yourself, because it comes through. So moving on. So I was getting going, and I earned a trip with my coach for the Diamond Leaders. And I remember sitting, and this was a pivotal moment. I remember sitting and meeting her mom, and was just talking to her mom, and she just casually looked over at me, and she's like, Steph shits too. And I was like, okay. She's like, Lindsay Matway, Melanie Mitchell, all of those, they shit too. And I was like, okay, I see where you're going with this. And she said, there's nothing that they do or that they have that you don't. They are all human beings. All human beings. And it was in that moment that I was like, oh yeah, everybody says it. Why not me? But really think about it. Why not me? If they can do it, and you've all heard their stories, they're not PhDs. They are just women, some men, who have decided to just take a chance on this, to get healthy, and all of a sudden they are multimillionaires, they are successful, they are leading, hundreds and thousands of people in this shift, in this change, in this transformation. And it all just it's just from one. Why? Because they believed in themselves, because they trusted that they would do it, that they would do whatever, they would take the action steps necessary to follow through with that belief. But the belief is so key. I think we can all agree, hopefully, that mindset plays a big part in our life. You know, we can all walk down the same street and we will see different things, all of us. It's how we're feeling that day. That's how we'll see things. You know, it's what we have been conditioned to see or what we know. It's all our mind that is bringing things to us. So if I have like a thing for blue jays, I'm going to notice the blue jays flying around and you'll be like, oh, what? There were birds? Like, you know, like I was just looking at the grass because my favorite color is green. You know, we all see different things. And that is exactly what this belief and making vision boards and all of that stuff is all about. And I just like kind of went and did a little video thingy on my Instagram stories about this today, because at the beginning of the year, I didn't make a vision board, and I make one every year. I actually make one multiple times a year. Beginning of the year, my birthday, and then just like randomly throughout when I feel like I need a little inspo. So I didn't make a vision board because when I sat down to make a vision board, it was blank. There was nothing coming to me. And I went through a lot of stuff in the beginning of the year, and it was really intense. And I realized why I didn't have the space to be going for goals and visions and all this stuff, like all these achieving things that I wanted to do, because I had something heavier that I needed to deal with. But after that settled, I really got connected and I got inspired to make a vision board. And I made my vision board. And if you don't, that's like number one for me. Like if I get like hyped about something and amped, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to start to work. What do I do first? Vision board. I don't care how many calls I have to make, how many emails I have to respond to. I do nothing without a vision board first. That to me is everything. It sets the foundation. It's like, you know, when you wake up in the morning and you're working out to start your day right. It's the same thing, except it's the vision board. So anyways, so about halfway through the year, like a couple months ago, June maybe, I made my vision board, and already things are coming true. Like just on Monday, 3 things got knocked off of that vision board. Just on Monday, I was like, whoa. And, you know, there's 2 theories for vision boards that I have. One is that, you know, we're all super psychic and we're just putting it down to prepare ourselves to accept it when it comes. That ultimately, like, we know what's coming. And then the other, you know, idea is just that, like, oh, this seems nice, and I'll put it out there, and oh my gosh, it came true. Which to me, that's for me as a harder stretch to believe. I think like we just know subconsciously, and it comes out. But it shows us kind of where we're going to go and what our priorities are. So when you're doing your vision boards, it's really important, or writing your goals or your lists or anything like that, it's really important that you check in and see, is this really mine? So often we piggyback, especially in this business, we piggyback on other people's goals. Well, 5-star sounds good. I mean, I'm not going to say no to bonuses. Okay, I'll go for 5-star. But if that's truly not what you're feeling, then it has no place on your vision board. If you're saying, okay, well, I want an income goal of like $200 a week, but then you see, you know, Susie has $1,000 a week, and you're like, well, am I just playing small then because I said 200? No, I'll put 1,000 on there, but it's not really mine. And so when I'm hitting 200 and not hitting 1,000, I'm going to feel bad about myself instead of celebrating myself for knowing what my goals were, what was for me, and going after them. I'm going to feel shitty because I'm comparing myself to Susie because I thought she had better goals, you know? So it's really important to check in with yourself and say, okay, is this goal mine? Do I really want this? Does it really matter to me? And does it connect with my why? When I say why I want to do this, does it feel right? Because it's all connected, right? Like all of your goals that you're going to have for your Beachbody business are all going to be connected to your why. Usually, you love to travel, and so you want Beachbody money so you can travel more, or like you want to look good when you're traveling, or you feel good and when you're traveling, be healthy when you're traveling, and have a reason to reach out to vision board next. Have a reason to meet new people and be excited to meet new people. It sounds silly, but sometimes it's like to meet new people, but like you're excited then because you have something to offer them. Right? And again, you only have something to offer them if you believe in what you're doing. If you believe in yourself and you believe in what you're selling. And I say selling in the most real way because people like to always say, oh, I'm not selling, I'm sharing. I'm not selling, I'm serving. You're selling. Like you are selling something. I don't care how you look at it. We need to get over the fact that, because otherwise we're just lying to ourselves. And again, it's a form of not believing in ourselves. I would rather sell a challenge pack to anybody than watch them walk into the convenience store and like there's people are spending money anyways. Be proud of the fact that you're getting them to spend it on something that's good for them, right? We're conditioned to just constantly be buying. We always want to be buying. Even when we don't have money, we're still kind of shopping and buying, right? So it's like, here, like at least have something to serve you. Like this is your service to the world, is put it out there more to the people that you feel like can't afford it. They're spending money on, like, I don't know, super long nails and highlights. Like just get them a challenge pack already. You know what I mean? Like we can agree on this, right? Yes. There's nothing wrong with long nails and highlights. I'm just saying that it doesn't matter what your income is or how lack of money you have, you're spending money. So just be proud of the fact that you're selling. And again, that comes back to, I believe in what I'm offering. Obviously you don't see me around a lot because I'm not a Beachbody coach anymore. I love Beachbody. I recommend it all the time. It just ended up, I got moved into a different direction, and that's super cool. But I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad about onboarding Shannon. I don't feel, Myra is another coach, Jen's, on the team. I don't feel bad. Like I love you all. I think you're doing amazing. But all I needed to do was offer you the option of taking it. Yes or no. After that, as a coach, yes, it's amazing that they run these team calls. It's amazing that you're going to get the support you need. But ultimately, your life is changed the moment you buy a challenge pack. As a coach, as a challenger, better as a coach because you have more options and it's the same price, so why not? More bang for your buck. But you have options. You can then change things for yourself, and nothing is more empowering than doing that for yourself. This is the gift that you have for your coaches. This is the gift that you have for everybody who knows you when they are ready. It's always, you hear, it's not yet. And it's true. Be around, because the seeds get planted in it. For some people it is just not. It's just not for them. And that's cool. But it's for somebody that they know and they'll remember you. So be around for it. Believe in what you're doing. Believe in what you're doing. And if you don't believe, you need to educate yourself. Why is this good? And if you don't, at the end of all of that education, gathering stories about how it's shifted other people's lives, be honest with yourself. And at the end of all of that, if you're like, yeah, do you know what? I actually still don't believe in Beachbody, or I don't believe in myself to do this, then excuse yourself from the system, because you're going to waste your time. You're going to waste your coach's time, your upline's time. You're going to waste other people's time. And it's going to kind of leave this weird thing on social media, right? Like it gets weird. So do yourself a favor but own it. Like Beachbody is amazing. It really is, but it's not for everybody. So if it's for you, then believe 100%, like jump in, like bubble wrap the Beachbody all over you, completely smother and saturate yourself with Beachbody, because you should be proud of it. and recognize yourself for doing that, for taking the leap. It's not a leap. It's such a clear, obvious choice. I don't understand why people call it a leap. It's a leap of faith. Okay, fine. A leap of faith to trust yourself. Like, again, you got up out of bed, you put on clothes, you look half decent. Like, you can trust yourself. You're going to be okay. So as you go through life, recognize yourself at each moment of like, oh, okay, all the good that I have in my life, I made some good decisions. Look at me go. You know, like, I can own that. Okay, there's some bad things here. I learned from that. It's okay. I can trust me. I can trust that whatever I bring myself to, it's for a reason. I can trust that whatever I bring myself to, it's for a purpose, for change, not just for me, but for the greater good of all. Think of all the people that you're influencing. And again, I don't really know you all as coaches, if you've sold a challenge pack or not sold a challenge pack. If you're showing up, even if you're not on social media, if you're showing up and you're doing these programs and drinking Shakeology, your vibration is changing. Those around you are noticing a difference. Even if you smile like one more time a day through this whole process, then the people around you are noticing that. So, like, trust yourself that you're doing something that's contributing, and it's a great thing, and you need to applaud yourself for that and celebrate yourself for that. This is how I truly believe we're shifting the world, is by owning the good that we have, the good decisions and the bad decisions, but just owning it all. And when you own it all, then you can start to trust yourself a little bit more. And when you trust yourself, then you can really believe in what you're doing and what you brought yourself to. Make sense? I still love Bijou. You can tell I'm very passionate about this. So does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, you did 80-day obsession today, right?
I did. Actually, I did a little obsessed because I only had 30.
Oh, that's right. That's right. A little obsessed.
The 80-day obsession is my favorite.
Honestly, I kind of want to talk about how you got me into this, because I don't want to say the word master convincer because it sounds bad that you had to convince me to do this, but there's something about you that, like, you almost like should be like a car salesman. Like, you at the time, everyone knows my story, I think, but like, I was a full-time photographer, and I get on the phone with Kristina and she wouldn't shut up about it. Like, I almost said yes because I was like, okay, I'll give this a try. But the feeling I got from her and the energy, and like I believed her, like, I knew she wasn't going to steer me wrong. And I feel like it's so important that when you're sharing this with someone and when you're talking, and it's hard sometimes when you're typing out messages, always try and A, send a voice memo, like B, try and get on the phone if you can get over it. Because I just really felt that energy from you when you were talking about it. And like, you know, you were showing me all these people. Like, you and I were sitting on your couch and we were looking at Lindsay Matway. And when I saw her, I was like, oh my God, what? Like, she's choosing between whatever car. It was like, what should I choose, A or B? And yes, I got caught up in the glitz and glam. Like, I actually went straight for this for like money reasons, and it became so much bigger. So don't just share the money. But I don't know if you have anything to add to that, but like, I honestly was sold from like the second we talked about it, if that's even like a word to use. But you just wrapped it in this perfect bow where I could not say no. And like, I'm so glad I did, obviously. But I don't know, do you have anything to add about talking to people about this? Because I think that's also why you saw such success. I don't know how many people said no to you.
People said no.
Sure they did.
No.
But I bet more people said yes.
But I did have a good rate. And this is why, because I believed in it. And even when I was unsure, I made myself believe in it. If you're going to be in this, you better be in this. You know, if you're going to be like, I think it's a good thing, I'm not too sure just yet, then nobody's going to join you until you're sure it's a good thing, right? The same way if you're like, that's like an okay restaurant, I'm not going to be like, ooh, got to get a reservation tonight. You know, it's like, Okay, I'll leave it then. So the first thing, again, you could write this down. What excites you about the business? Like for Shannon, it was Lindsay Mataway. Like anytime I needed to motivate her, like, well, did you notice Lindsay Mataway's doing this? And she's like, ooh, ooh. But everybody has their thing. But what excites you? For me, again, it was the opportunity. And it wasn't the opportunity of one particular thing. It was the word opportunity. As a stay-at-home mom of 2 kids, I felt like I had an opportunity. That's what I loved. That's what I wanted to give other people. The opportunity to say yes or say no, because that in itself is empowering. They say no to you. Wow, good for you for knowing your boundaries. Have a great day. Bless them as you release them. You know what I mean? It's not like a, what? What do you mean no? Like, what does that mean about myself? I'm the worst because you just said no. Like, really, can we start to get outside of ourselves for a moment and start to recognize people and making their decisions and realize, wow, that's really great. She was able to clearly say no to this. Okay, do you want this? Like, let me see if you can exercise your right to choose and have opportunities. Everybody needs opportunities. Everybody needs more opportunities. And so it was my excitement. I was totally excited for the potential. And then I was like, when I first thought of it, and I thought, again, the opportunity, wow, there's an opportunity here. And I went on the national, I don't know if they still do this because I know there's so many people, but the National Wake Up Call, they also used to, in the very beginning, announce like the top 10 challenge pack winner, or challenge pack sales, and the top 10 recruiters. And they weren't the people who were rank advancing. They were different. And so I think now it's like when you hop on like 15 minutes early, then they go through all of the ranks because there's so many people. But there's got to be a way to find out. There was always top challenge pack sales of the week and top recruiters of the week. And those were the people I was following on Instagram. Okay, so because I wanted to do more like them. Like I want to rank advance, but I also want to know what they're doing. And so I was following them, and that built more belief because they were doing it on a large scale. They were shifting, I just saw everybody around, everybody that I surrounded myself with, they were doing this. Right. So I started putting all sorts of coaches on my social media, and I know you can recommend not to do that because you don't want to start copying people. But it was more of like, I'm building a network of people, which this is just what we do. Again, like this is just how we behave. If you have a family and your child is hitting, we say like, oh, we don't do that. They're going to learn that that's just not something that we as a family do. That's not a value that we have. Well, my value was coming from my values in this business were coming from the top recruiters and the top challenge pack salespeople. Those were the people that I was surrounding myself with so that I could say, oh yeah, like they really believe in this product. I believe in it too. They were selling me while I was selling, you know what I mean? Like they were keeping me motivated because I'm like, oh, they'd have a new story or a new face-to-face Friday. And I didn't have a lot of weight to lose. And I didn't have a big, I still had a transformation. I remember saying to my coach when she was like, so what are your like physical goals? I'm like, I'm good. And if anybody's seen like, I'm so funny. And
I have to share your transformation. I will share it. I'll dig it up because Kristina,
I thought it was
transformation. Guys, like it was Insanity Max 30.
Yeah.
And Kristina, you've always been super body positive. I would have thought the same thing. You didn't like it. You looked good before, but like when after, like it was like someone chiseled her goddamn abs. And even then, within 2 months, I saw it. And then I was like, oh shit, what program is this? And then I did Insanity Max 30 after. Like you sold people everywhere you went because you went all in. Like,
And
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. Like you kind of have to, even
yeah.
if you're doing this on a part-time basis, you have to like believe in this business. Otherwise, why are you doing it? You know, something in you was called to this. And you ask yourself, like, okay, well, why did I sign up? Because don't just repeat what I'm saying. Figure it out for you. That's how you get to tap into your authenticity, the true excitement of why did I sign up for this? Maybe it was to lose some weight. Like, guys, these are great programs and you can get excited about like how much fun. I just wanted company. That was the other thing. I just wanted, you know, I did this to Shannon in all stages of my life. Like I would buy a house and then I would tell her how, like talk to her about it until she bought a house. Like I'm like, I need to feel like I'm not alone in this. This isn't a bad decision, right? Like I'm getting a puppy. Okay. Like you should get one too. And then like we would get puppies together. Like it was, we should have kids. Like it was everything. I just needed a buddy. And not only did it like validate my initial decision, it made me believe more. The more people I got into this, the more I believed, you know, because it's like, yeah, okay. So I still had doubts in the beginning. Is this a scam? Is it going to work for me? Because I was into herbalism and holistic nutritionist, holistic nutrition. I was wondering if people would like in my circle would think I was like a sellout because now I'm going for like mainstream Beachbody where I'd been like barefoot harvesting in the forest and now I'm selling packaged herbs and believing in them. But then you know what? Because I was afraid of them, I was afraid of what they would think. I went directly to them and I said, hey, am I just being jaded right now or is this really good? And you know what? They started buying it. So it added to my belief. If I was like, I'm not too sure, I wonder what my naturopath's going to think, I'd bring it to her. My midwives were like, I should be taking this. I'm like, do you want some? You know what I mean? Like this is, if ever you are unsure about something, or if you're feeling like a little bit like, I don't know, am I the only one that believes this works? Make a post. Am I the only one that thinks this is good? Who else out there knows about this? Who else is willing to look at the ingredients and see? Because when they look at the ingredients, they realize, oh shit, this is good. I totally judged Beachbody before. I didn't want to. And actually, sorry, I lied. I did have one-on-one interaction with Steph, but it wasn't over the phone. We were just typing back and forth. And I do remember her saying, you know, that that mom fog will go away with Shakeology. And I was like, yeah, right. I am a herbalist. I am a nutritionist, and your packaged goods don't belong in my body. You know, like your mass-produced package. But I was also desperate. I had postpartum, and it was like just majorly this big frustration in my life because all the juice fasts and all the stuff that I was doing on my own wasn't kicking it. You know, so I fully expected that I was going to try it and return it. But, which is funny because like a lot of people don't know that because I signed them up within my first month, but I bought it. And again, I wasn't going to tell anybody I was doing this because I felt embarrassed because of the group I was running with at the time. And Steph shouted me out on Facebook and I was like, okay, there I am. And everybody knows now. So I'm just going to start asking. And again, like, hey, I'm doing this thing. It seems pretty exciting because you get to do this, this, and this. Isn't that cool? Do you want to do it with me? We should do this together. Like, I'm brand new at this. So why don't we do this together? It never fazed me that like, oh, I'm brand new, so I have no place. Like, having people join me. I'm like, well, let me make a little group of people to be new together. Like we can all be new. And anyways, that's just kind of how it went. I went off track, but ultimately it was like, figure out what drew you to the business and use that to get more people into the business. And again, I say use that as if it's like a bad thing. But remember, we believe so much in this business. We know it's a good thing. And at the end of the day, you know your heart. You know you're not trying to scam people. You would never want to compromise somebody's position. You know, like you would never want to put somebody in a hard spot if they truly didn't have the money. So they can wait as long as they want. But as you're watching them because they don't have money, you'll see all the stuff that they're buying and like hashtag Prime Day. You know what I mean? Like, so you're going to watch it, and it's okay for people to have their excuses and for them to not be ready to step into this opportunity, because a lot of people get scared too. Oh shoot, now I have an opportunity. What if I don't do anything with it? Right? That's a true fear. It's a real fear. Like, what happens if I disappoint myself after being given an opportunity? Well, it might happen, but who cares? Like, we'll move on. There'll be another opportunity somewhere else. But for now, this is a real opportunity to get healthy, to get connected, to make money, to have fun. And it's like relatively easy. You know, I shouldn't say relatively, it is freaking easy.
Yeah, it's all easy stuff. Like, it's embarrassing when it's like, I know I'm not doing this. It's like, oh, what? I'm not adding people to Facebook. I'm not inviting to a challenge group.
Yeah.
And I don't want to cut you off, but it made me think today. I had this girl and I invited her to our call tomorrow night, and she said no. And the old me would have been like, okay, no problem. Like, hope you have a great night. Thanks so much for getting back to me. And she had said, like, you know what, I'm really swamped right now and this and that. And I said, you know what, I totally understand and like kind of get that I'm the mom of three where I'm super swamped too. But you know who does well in this business? Busy people. And you know what? Again, I said, you're not getting any pressure from me, but I just didn't know, or I just always like to find out who this opportunity will benefit. And then she was like, you know what? Wrote me back this big blurb. Actually, I've been really wanting a change. It was almost like textbook, like written by me. What, like, her response back was like, this probably could be a good time. Okay, I'll listen in. And I feel like I got a lot of that from you, because you're a big, like, you sometimes don't take no for an answer. And I feel like, again, I'm not going to feel guilty by pushing this person a little bit, because I know this is somebody who's always fallen off. All of my challenge groups, she's always falls off, comes back, falls off, comes back. And she's always wanting to stay with this. So I put it out there to her, and she kind of was like, no, when I don't know, I'm kind of busy. I'll try. And I went back again. Like, I went back for more. And then she was like, actually, yeah. And I think she kind of appreciated it because I was coming at it from a really good place. And I also just almost didn't let her off the hook. Like, and I honestly feel like you kind of did that to me a bit. But again, you know me, like, I'm eternally grateful to you. So if there's anything that anyone can learn out of that, is like, don't be afraid to take no for an answer. And you're not doing it in a pushy way. Like, at the end of the day, like Kristina said, like, are you ever going to feel guilty for trying to help somebody? How this could change her life. This could keep her on track, because she's been falling off for years now. So I don't know. I think, like, kudos to you. And I'm sorry, I have to, please, I really hope this shows up. Oh, my light. Can you guys, can you guys see that?
I remember sharing that.
I don't know.
I can see that.
That's Christine. Like, look at these abs right here. Oh my God.
It's funny because in the before picture, that when I was like, I don't have anything to, like, I always just assumed that, like, that was my body type, that, like, soft was a body type. I'm like, I just don't have muscle tone. Like, that's just not me. I'm not that, like, muscle is for athletic people. I played piano growing up. You know, like, I wasn't in sports. I was, like, sitting on a piano bench. And, like, I did, like, oil painting, you know, like, I was just, I was 80 when I was 8, you know, like, so yeah, I don't know. I just didn't think that I had it. I was like, I'd accepted myself. I'm like, this is just how I am. I'm okay. I have to suck in when I go out, and suck in my tummy, and we're all good with that. It's just, I'm just one of those people. But yeah, so getting back to what Shannon was mentioning, I mean, ultimately, guys, we're accountability coaches. You know, that is what makes us separate from like a salesperson. Even though we're selling things, we're accountability coaches. So when someone's saying, no, I can't because I'm too busy, but you know that they're interested, well, you hold them accountable in your own way. And it's not with rigidity, and it's not because, oh, but I need some commission this month. It's actually because like, well, why? Like, are you sure? And like you said, that's perfect, because it's true. Busy people are so good at this business, because when you are a stay-at-home mom, you're just sitting here and you're like, maybe I'll vacuum instead. You know, when you're busy, you know you only have a certain amount of time for every little thing. Not saying that stay-at-home moms aren't busy at all. We all know that one's a truth. But anyways, no, it's really important to, again, just take it one step further and ask why. Be curious. Just ask questions, you know, like you're busy, but you know, obviously they've expressed something to you in the past to make you think that they'd be really good for this. So yeah, I think that's really great. The same way that, like, you know, you're not just going to do one push-up and like, oh, wow, I'm kind of weak. And like, screw that. Like, no, you keep going. You hold yourself accountable, and you get to hold other people accountable. But also it's taken, you know, a while for you to feel comfortable to do that. Right, Shan? Like, this isn't something that you did overnight. But I will say this, and this is something, again, I learned really early on. I also got into all of the trainings, by the way. I did all of the trainings with all of the people, not just mine. I watched trainings that were free by Melanie Mitro, by before they had like a private and unlisted feature on YouTube. I would just look like Anita Myron, or like, is that, yeah, like the top people of my time. You know, I would look up whatever video, even Bonnie Engel, you know, she came in after me, but like she has really great content. So I would start Googling or YouTubing whatever training that they had and listening to that. And I found it really helpful and inspiring. But above all of that, hold on, I had a point. And it was about Shannon and what she was doing. Yes. One of the trainings I listened to was about, like, when you start worrying about what other people are going to think, you're making it about you. How are they going to feel about me if I ask them? How are they going to feel about me if I you know, invite them, or if I hold them accountable to this? But truthfully, you're not doing them any favors by doing that. All you're doing is shielding your own idea of who you want to be and how you want people to think of you. You know, you're not actually being a coach. You're just being this ideal, like this image of this person that just minds her own business. But that's not what you want to be here. You want to be a helper. You want to serve. You want to help with transformations. Then you need to go beyond yourself and be like, well, I don't care. I might really piss you off right now, but I'm just going to let you know that you could actually do this really well. You know, and you might not have time, and that's okay. But just know that I really hope to see you on another call, because I believe in you. I really think you could do amazing things in this business. And that's when we're getting outside of ourselves. When we can start to invite somebody and not worry about, like, oh, are they going to think I'm scammy? You just think this is self-serving. You just think I want you just because I need commission, but it's not. And they can think that all they want, but at the end of the day, at least you gave them an opportunity. It's up to them to say no, but you gave it to them. Yeah. There's a fly. Sorry. Like, if you notice I'm doing this when I'm like talking, it's because there's an actual fly in the room. Anything? Any questions now? Anything else?
I don't have any questions. I'm just soaking it all up. I'm just agreeing, like everything you're saying, I'm like, yes. And I just love that you're saying, like, if you don't believe in this business, you shouldn't do it. And like, I always wish I could be blunt like that. It's like you're saying everything I think and want to say sometimes, but it's so true. If you don't believe in Beachbody, there's no point. And I also just love the last point you said, if you worry about what others think, you're making this about you. I never thought of it like that. And that is actually a really good point, because I'm someone that worries what people think all the time. But then, I'm making this about me when I'm trying to help other people. and it's not about me. So I really liked that point you just made, along with like I have 5 pages of notes, so along with a lot of other really great points.
Okay, so I want to just say one more thing. I know it's getting late, but I want to just say one more thing because this also ties into how we interact with people. And this is maybe some work that you can do on, and like on your own time. There's lots of work around, there's lots of information and teachings around abundance versus lack. Right? So when we're in lack mindset, lack mentality, that's when we're stressing like, oh my gosh, I need this person. I need, like, how am I going to do this? I need to, the Shakeology is coming out and I don't have any money coming in, and like so stressed out because I'm living in this lack. And we build these stories out of sometimes realistic things. You know, we have a mortgage and we have other expenses and we have little income, but stressing about it isn't creating more. You know, stressing about it isn't creating more money somehow. What you can do is, again, trust that you're in this business and release that need to worry about the Shakeology. Obviously, you know, be smart about your money and whatever, but if you've set up your life so that you've decided that you're giving Beachbody a shot, then release that. Stress about maybe other things in your life. Look at your other expenses, but that's solid. And then in terms of people, know that there are a million people out there who need this opportunity and who are wanting and ready to take this opportunity. They truly are. And you could walk down the street and you can just say, I wish you'd have Shakeology, or read the Facebook rants and you just need some Shakeology in your life. You know, you need a good sweat. You need a good workout. You need some Shakeology. You need some positive community. And this is what you have to offer for people, right? And it's the accountability in all of that as well. So hold on. I lost my thought. Where is I going? Oh yeah, the lack mentality. So that desperation reads like there's like an energetic connection between you and everybody. You know how when you're just thinking about somebody and all of a sudden they call, you're like, I was just thinking about you. Isn't that so weird? It's not weird. You're energetically connect. So the same goes for if somebody, and I'm guilty of doing this as well. But you know, it's like end of the month. We have 3 days left of the month and this person said they were going to buy. And you're just kind of like, so, hey, just checking in. And you're like, at home afterwards, 2 hours later, just constantly waiting. Like it says read, like they read it. They know, they've seen it, and you're just waiting. They can feel that and they want nothing to do with it. You know, they feel the energetic connection just the same way you think about somebody with love and you're like, oh, just thinking, and then they call and you're like, oh, how so nice to hear from you. When you're putting out that like waiting for you said you were going to sign up, then it's like a really like icky, like, I don't think this is ready. Like, I don't think I want to do this. I'm not ready for this. It's a weird energy. You got to kind of cut that off and move on. Until they say yes, you don't make that energetic connection. You know, I shouldn't even say until they say yes. Until you see them in your downline, you don't make the energetic connection. They have the choice to say no, even after they've said yes. So when we're sitting in that mentality of lack, of like, but they're my only person, that's the only person that's going to help me get to Success Club, then you're not doing your job. You know, it's like, okay, that's great. And let me talk to more people, and let me talk to more people, and let me talk to more people. And don't allow yourself to just sit back and pine over one or two people. The same way we don't want to just cling on to our coaches. They're like, you're my only coach that's working right now in my downline. Like, you can't cancel. Don't do it. Don't do it. You know, because we know that, oh, there's more. There's another coach. There's another coach. There's another challenger. There's another challenge pack. There's more, another check. We're going to miss things, and we can't pine over them, because when we hold on to that, it's like, but I could have, it's like, you know, September 23rd, and we're thinking, but August, I could have hit Success Club in August. It's only this one person. said something or did something or followed through, and now I can't trust anybody. We got to move on and open ourselves to that abundance of, there's so many people that want my help, and they're going to come, and it's going to come, and it's going to come, and it's going to come. And I was telling Shannon about this earlier today. She knew about it before, but I remember Brandy Botts, who, again, I don't know if you know who Brandy Botts is anymore, but Brandy Botts, what is up in the upline. And I had dinner with her once, and she was telling me about how she missed her 15-star bonus, which is $50,000, because of 15 PV. Like 15 PV, which Shakeology is 90, because of 15. She forgot to do something in her father-in-law's account, and she missed out on $50,000 for the quarter. She had to move on. And guess what? She's a millionaire. Like, it's like, okay, well, missed out on that 50, but there'll be another 50. And if I hold on to the fact that, well, like, now I have 50, but I could have had 100, I'm not helping myself move along. I'm still tied to the past. I could be, further along. Now I'm an Emerald coach. Great. But if this person and this person and this person didn't cancel, I could have been Ruby, or I could have been Diamond. Get over it. You can still be Diamond without them. You keep going forward. There will be more people. That's all I want to say about that, because it's really, but seriously, like, do some work on the fear-based mindset versus abundance. Like, follow Amanda Francis. She is more focused on money, but it's ultimately lack versus abundance. And anything you can do to coach your mind around that will help you in the long run in all aspects of your life. Even in men. Like, if not this one, it's another one. If it not this restaurant, there'll be another one. Not these jeans, it'll be another one.
I love that. That's very, very true. Oh, what's her name? Amanda Francis.
Amanda Francis. Yeah,
How do you spell that, Kristina?
Yeah, I'll type it.
She's really good.
She's funny.
You're gonna hear a lot of frickin' F-bombs.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Yeah, she's really great. She gives a lot of free content as well. And I recommend that whenever she does, like, her live Facebook free webinar things, like, she'll do like, I can't even remember what they're called now. When you do like a 3-day go live every day and teach on something, what is it called? Like an event. Anyways, I can't remember there's like a catchy term we use in Beachbody. Like, I don't know, I remember. But do them, because she ends up selling them for like hundreds of dollars later on down the line, those same recordings, and then you get it for free.
True. I really love that point.
And be willing to invest in yourself, which you are. Recognize that you are investing yourself in your coaching fee and your Shakeology or whatever, performance line or whatever you're doing. Just recognize that you have a lot that you're bringing to the table. There's a lot in one call.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's really good. Very, very, very good.
No problem.
I like the lack and abundance big time, because I get caught up in that and just like that same thing. And that's why I hear crickets or I get ghosted by those people. I never really thought about it, but I do that. I'm guilty of those same old messages, and like, some work, but it's true. Like, it's the end of the month. Right? Like, it is. It's like desperation mode. Those people never get back to me. Like, that's like, boom. And I spent months and months being like, well, I didn't do it. And I never looked at it of like, no, keep going. Like, keep contacting more people. I would wait on those couple of people. So that's so good. Like, I even still do that now. So that's awesome. Thank you so much.
No problem. And if you feel like, oh, I totally have done this, or I am doing this to some, because sometimes it just happens by accident. It's the end of the month and you're like, oh shoot, I've been doing that to this person. Just be like, just give it a little swipey swipe, like whoop, just because sometimes visually, again, that vision board, visually we need to see, we just cut off that cord, whatever energetic cord is, like, sorry. And you'll probably notice they'll reach out to you.
Okay.
Yeah. But if anybody has any questions like that come up afterwards, I'm always happy to answer questions.
Awesome. Ladies, do you have any questions right now? No, nothing. Okay. Well, thank you, Kristina. That was awesome.
No problem.
Really
Thank
awesome. I knew it would be. You didn't disappoint.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much. And if we ever do a vision board,
You know, I was just
Get
thinking we
together.
should do one of those. I've really never made one since like my first year as a coach.
Oh, Jen.
I know. So that when you said that, I wrote it down and I starred it a whole bunch of times because I hear people doing it. I guess I just don't know where to start. I know that sounds silly. That's an excuse. I need to just do it.
Mm-hmm.
I have things I dream of and want, and it's just a matter of putting them down and in front of me.
Yeah. Well, and also it's really good to do it with feelings too, because sometimes we can't connect. We feel superficial if we're saying like we're putting down like, oh, I want a boat, and I want like $60,000 in savings. Like we feel bad. Sometimes some people I don't, but I mean some people feel bad about that. So if that's the case and you're like, I don't want to be icky, then just like write down how you want to feel. Like, do you want to feel accomplished? Do you want to feel abundant? Do you want to feel like you want to get rid of that feeling of like, this is tight, money's tight,
Mm-hmm.
Write it in a positive so it can.
Sure. No, I love that.
Yeah. Right.
cool. Well, thank you so much again. Thanks
No
everyone
problem.
for getting on. I know it's
Love
late.
you. Yeah. Thanks so much
No, it was
for having me on.
Thank you again, Kristina.
No problem. Anytime. I'm happy to do it.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Bye.
have a good night, everyone. Thanks for hopping on.
Okay, bye everyone. Have a good night. Goodbye.